Hey, have you ever really stopped to think about the ground beneath your feet? Today, we're going to go on an amazing expedition to explore the incredible landforms that make up our planet, from those towering mountains all the way to vast open plains.
So let's just start with a really basic question. Why isn't the ground just flat? You travel from one place to another, and the landscape can change completely, from sky-high peaks to endless fields. What's the deal with that? Well, it all comes down to some seriously powerful forces constantly at work on our planet.
And believe it or not, all these different landscapes really boil down to three major types of landforms. You've got your mountains, your plateaus, and your plains. Each one has been sculpted by massive forces, like entire continents crashing into each other, or just the slow, steady work of wind and water. They each have their own story, and they absolutely shape the life that calls them home.
All right, first stop on our expedition. We're heading way, way up into the breathtaking world of mountains.
So, what exactly makes a mountain and not just a big hill? Well, it's all about its impressive height and that very distinct shape. Just picture it, a wide, sturdy base, slopes that shoot up sharply, and a narrow peak or summit that's reaching for the sky.
Now, here's a cool fact. Did you know mountains have an age? Yup. The young ones, like the Himalayas, are super tall and have these really sharp, jagged peaks because they're actually still growing. But then you have the older mountains, like the Aravallis in India. They're shorter, more rounded, because they've been worn down by millions and millions of years of wind and rain. These rugged landscapes are also home to some incredible wildlife. I mean, you've got animals like the sturdy yak with its super thick coat and the sneaky Canadian lynx, which has these wide paws that are basically natural snowshoes. They've developed these amazing adaptations to help them thrive in their high-altitude homes. The biodiversity here is just so rich. You can find everything from the golden eagle soaring high above to the super rare snow leopard, which is a master of camouflage against the rocks. These mountain ecosystems are just teeming with life. But for people, life in the mountains can be a real puzzle. That steep, rugged terrain makes it incredibly difficult to do things like farm or build towns the way you would on flat land. So, how do you solve a problem like that? With a totally ingenious technique called terrace farming. People literally carve steps into the hillsides, creating level ground where they can plant their crops. It's an amazing way to turn steep, unusable slopes into fertile, productive gardens. You know, mountains don't just challenge us to find new ways to live. They also inspire these incredible feats of human courage. Just take Bachendri Paul, the first Indian woman to conquer Mount Everest. She showed the entire world what pure determination can achieve.
And then there's the story of Arunima Sinha. Wow. After losing a leg, she went on to climb the highest peak on every single continent. These stories just show how mountains can become these powerful symbols for overcoming the greatest challenges you can imagine.
Okay, let's leave the peaks behind. Our expedition is now taking us to a different kind of high ground, the vast flatlands known as plateaus. So, what in the world is a plateau? Well, think of it like this. It's basically a plane that's been lifted way up into the sky. The best way to picture it is as a giant tabletop rising from the ground, which is exactly why they're often called tablelands. And these things can be absolutely massive. The Tibetan Plateau, for example, sits at an average altitude of 4,500 meters. That's so high and sprawling that it's earned the nickname, the roof of the world. But plateaus are so much more than just flat tops. Their unique geology means they're often these rich storehouses of minerals, and they also create some truly stunning landscapes, like these spectacular waterfalls where entire rivers just dramatically drop off their steep edges. For our final stop, we are going to journey to the landform where most of the people on Earth actually make their home, the vast, fertile plains. So how do these plains even happen? Well, it's kind of like nature's long-term construction project. For millions of years, rivers have carried all this nutrient-rich soil down from the mountains. They then spread the soil over huge areas, creating a perfectly flat, fertile landscape that's just ideal for farming. You can really get a sense of just how vast these river plains are from space. Take a look at India's Ganga Plain. That huge green area you see? That's all fertile farmland, and it has been the cradle of great civilizations for thousands of years.
And that fertile soil is exactly why plains are so packed with people. The Ganga Plain alone is home to over 400 million people. Let that sink in for a second. That's a massive number of people, all living in this one fertile river basin.
Okay, so we've journeyed across mountains, plateaus, and plains. What's the big takeaway here? What's the one thing that connects all these different landscapes? Well, it's pretty clear that these landforms do way more than just shape the ground. They shape our entire way of life. From the huge challenges of mountain farming to the amazing opportunities of fertile plains, the land itself really dictates how we work, what we build, and even the cultures we create. There's this ancient idea that I think just says it perfectly. The earth is my mother, and I am her child. It's a beautiful reminder to just look at the world around us, whatever shape it's in, and really appreciate the land that sustains us all. So take a look outside. What kind of landform do you call home?